Ladies and gentlemen, police using deception in order to apprehend suspects is nothing new. We know this has always been going on. And these same folks think they deserve respect. I'm still trying to figure out what they deserve respect for. But let's get into this. Law enforcement experts on why police shouldn't be allowed to lie to suspects. And lying to suspects is the number one way of getting innocent people apprehended every single day in America. So many Americans, I think most people know they just outright lie about evidence or lie about information they have. And the biggest lies in policing comes out during the interrogation. And as of now, this is not unlawful, not only here in America, but most Western countries. Is this not shocking? Okay, so most of these Western nations, they permit police to use deception in order to apprehend suspects. And for a long time, they were even permitted to lie to juveniles. Some states have banned them lying to juveniles, okay, but it's still used. So this form of deception has trickled down to countless innocent people into confessing crimes they never committed. We have surveillance footage of you that night. This is the kind of lies they said, be saying during the interrogation. Your shoe prints were at the crime scene. Cell phone records prove you were there. You failed the polygraph. These are all lies they tell. Your DNA was on the victim. Your friend said she wasn't with you like that. You said, um, they are all some of the common examples that they use during interrogation to entrap you to confess to something you never did. But they tell us we should respect them. we we should respect them. So in the Fraser versus Cup 1969 Supreme Court case made it lawful for police to present false evidence. So you got it all the way up to the Supreme Court. This is why everybody say your courts are really no good. You know, so according to the Supreme Court in this country, a police officer lying to you is okay. I mean, the whole system needs to go from top to bottom. Despite erroneous amounts of research and thousands of wrongful convictions since that time, the court has not revisited this issue. And that's because they like things the way that it is. Everything going against us and everything going in their favor when it comes down to court. They like it the way it is. So that's why lawmakers must step up to rectify the situation. They won't. They won't. The lawmakers are criminals, actually. Even they're criminals. They make the crimes into laws that they commit. So there is almost no limit to the type of deception permitted. One lie or many, or small lies and big lies, whether aimed at obnoxious children or adults, the effects can be devastating. In one case in 1973 in Connecticut, A sergeant accused an 18-year-old Peter Riley of killing his mother. No witnesses, no physical evidence indicated that Riley committed this crime. He had no criminal history. But yet, for hours of interrogations and denials, the sergeant told Riley that he failed the polygraph test. This is somebody that never had a criminal history, never been in trouble with the law. His mother was murdered, and this sergeant took it upon himself to accuse this woman's son, and there was no evidence linking him to the murder of his mother. But they lied to get him jailed. How is that keeping the community safe? Seriously, how is that keeping the community safe? So, ladies and gentlemen, later he confessed because he was scared. He was scared. So he was only 18 years old. He confessed. He spent time in prison for the charges, and eventually the charges were dismissed. They didn't have no evidence. In a second case, 20 years later, 41 year old Gary Gauger woke up on his family farm to find his parents stabbed to death. So the detectives, they found the blood-soaked clothes and accused him of killing them with his pocket knife, which was a lie. They also falsely claimed that he failed the polygraph. So that seems to be a go-to thing. You failed the polygraph. Okay. So he spent 5 years in prison on death row for something he never did. So if the police deceiving people is leading to wrongful convictions, why do they continue to do it? Because the courts in this country said it's okay for that to be done. That's why. And look at the damage it has done. It's done more harm than good, allowing your police to lie to wrongfully incarcerate people or dupe them into a confession by telling them they didn't pass the polygraph. Mm-mm-mm. Within the scientific community, proof of the risk posed by false evidence ply is beyond dispute. Basic psychology research in a multitude of venues show that misinformation can alter a person's visual perceptions, beliefs, emotions. So, this is what they're doing when they go through interrogations accusing you of committing things you never did. So, the psychological damage that it has on the person that's wrongfully convicted is lasting. It really is. So in 2021, Illinois and Oregon passed laws to ban police from lying to children and adolescents brought in for interrogation. In 2022, similar bills were passed by state legislatures in California, Utah, and Delaware. Coming up in 2023, Colorado will they'll present bills to protect the youth from being lied to during these interrogations. This is why so many people are not upset that your place is falling. There's a lot of people not upset about it at all. So, yet more reform is still necessary. You can't reform this crap that you got set up, by the way. Connecticut and New York are poised to consider more inclusive bills. that would protect adults against police lies. And still, other states have also begun to study the issue. Hopefully, all remaining states, the District of Columbia, and federal law enforcement agencies will follow, proving much needed changes in interrogation training and practice nationwide. So, the police have been in effect since chattel slavery, and they're just getting around to doing something about the lies they get to tell during an interrogation. They're just getting around to this now, y'all. These people are beyond sorry. They are beyond sorry. So, when police and prosecutors close a case on an innocent person, the real perpetrators remain free. Yeah, they do. The prosecutor and the police, the real perpetrator. And if a crime was committed, the one they should have nabbed is still out there walking around. So, ladies and gentlemen, y'all gonna have to tell me what you think, how this country have for centuries allowed cops to lie during interrogations in order to nab people and place them in jail, and it still goes on to this day. And this is how so many innocent people have been caught up in the system, and they're quite okay and fine with it. See, as long as it's from our community, they're perfectly fine with the whole thing. This is why you never hear them making a lot of noise about all of these wrongful convictions. Never. You know, in 2020, there were 109 wrongful convictions that would have cleared people from DNA evidence. They had DNA evidence that did not match 109 people. Mm, mm, mm. In 94% of these cases, those perpetrators had escape arrest or prosecution, and they went on to commit 337 crimes. See, the real perpetrators out there of the crimes that were still allowed to be out there went on to commit more crimes, and the innocent person that didn't match none of the DNA evidence was sitting in prison. Now, this is bad police work. That's what it is. Your police is more illegal than the actual criminals. They commit more illegal acts than the actual criminals that are on the street. But I guess if you're a devil, you don't care what other devils do. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.